Welcome to the Spotlight Series podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. Man, I got the dopest gig in the world. I get to have conversations with entertainers and entrepreneurs and listen to their inspiring stories. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and listen on all podcast platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you. What's good, world? It's the homie Slick Sean, the host of the Spotlight Series podcast. I got a special guest today. He goes by the name Autism activist Marcus Boyd. This brother's very talented. He got a lot going on, so I can't wait to share all of that with everybody. This brother, man, he's the founder and creator of Autism Royalty Clothing and Lifestyle. He also started a foundation called the Marcus Boyd Foundation. Welcome to the Spotlight Series, Marcus Boyd. How you doing, fam?
How you doing? I'm so honored to be a part of this legendary podcast. So, I'm definitely honored.
Man, likewise for you coming on. We had some audio difficulties the first time we were doing the interview, but they can't stop the shining, can they?
They can't.
So, man, I want to go ahead and get started, man, and let everybody know what's going on with you and get to know you and everything. So where are you from?
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, raised between Atlanta, Georgia, and Brooklyn, New York. Between 80s and 90s. So, yeah, I have a little bit of South and North in me.
I got you. That's a pretty good mix, man. Atlanta and Brooklyn. It don't get no more thorough than that, do it?
It does, and not to me, it doesn't.
For sure, man. So how was life in Brooklyn, man? That's a fast pace, a big city.
It was a little crazy, early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s. So, you talking about poverty, the dealers and surviving and running from cops and doing whatever you got to do to, make ends meet, because nobody was giving you nothing. Nobody was giving out opportunities. You had to create your own opportunity, whether legal or illegally.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the thing, a lot of people don't get when you in the trenches, you growing up in a certain area. You have to get it how you live out the mud, whatever the saying goes. You got to do what you got to do. And then a lot of people try to shun people that come from, inner city backgrounds for doing what they have to do. And people do what they have to do all the time. People in Wall Street, they get that insider trading. Anybody with a big company, they doing all kinds of stuff under the table. Except, but people from the inner city get the bad rap because they did what they had to do. So I just don't feel that part is fair.
The problem is when you're not born with a silver spoon, when you're trying to get the silver spoon that somebody else already put out their mouth, it's a difference. The moves are different. You understand what I'm saying? They already got the spoon. We trying to get the spoon.
Right. Like it's easy to judge somebody from the outside looking in. You already got what you want and everything. You judging. That's true, man. So what got you into activism?
Well, I have autism. I was diagnosed April 12, 1993 in Decatur, Georgia. And I was nonverbal until I was almost 14. I started speaking at a 2-year-old's level. I didn't start speaking like I do now until I was almost 18 years of age. The thing was that 11 different doctors in 2 different states was like, oh yeah, he's going to be a walking vegetable, brain dead. His left side of his brain doesn't function correctly like other children. He's never going to graduate, never going to get a good education. He's always going to be codependent. He's always going to be needing a nurse or a family member to help take care of him. He's never really going to understand anything within his life. So, with me having autism, and about almost 7 years ago, I was trying to go to Walmart in Atlanta with a friend of mine who grew up with me. Long story short, she wanted me to go to her church and tell my testimony. I didn't want to tell my testimony. I'm a music producer in Atlanta. I'm at asylum. I'm at a soul asylum. I'm at Patchworks, I'm at Stankonia. You understand what I'm saying? I'm at different spots, and you want to tell me, you want me to tell these people I use the bathroom on myself, I slob, I rock, I have sensory issues, I have trouble, with eye contact, I have, different situations. You want me to tell these people that I have autism when I'm in the studio with like some major situations, some major people. So like, I mean, and plus she was threatening to drop me off on I-285. It was raining. I wanted to go to Walmart. So I mean, so it was like either I go to her church or I'm gonna be trying to figure out how to get back to East Point on Washington Road.
Yeah. So, that's crazy.
So I went to a church and I found out there was more people that was dealing or knew people with autism. They had questions. The embrace was beautiful. So we had almost August 2024 makes 7 years.
Oh, that's dope. Your story, man, it's really a inspiring story to hear everything that you said that they were saying that you couldn't do. You broke that, you know what I'm saying? You broke the mold on that. So definitely appreciate everything that you're doing for other people now. That's really big, man. How long
Oh
have you
yeah,
been an activist?
almost 7 years. I've been an activist
7 years.
7 years. August 2024 will be 7 years of me being an activist, not an advocate. So, like, I meet with different mayors, government officials, different city officials in different states, and we had these meetings, and I'm trying to pass new laws, rights, and benefits that would be beneficial towards the autism individual and families. New programs, new situations that will help keep and put money in their pockets because they have to sacrifice trying to raise or trying to pay for things for their children.
Right. So how is that coming along? Are they listening to what you're saying?
Some states are, some states not. Then you have to do what is called the retract, and you have to do the rewind. You have to go back to these same people and have different meetings about the same subjects, and you have to keep pushing the narrative about, listen, this is what we need.
Yeah. And that's crazy that when something needs to get done in this country, you have to keep drilling, beating a dead horse, something they already know, and you have to convince somebody of something they already know. That's ridiculous.
But the problem is, if I was doing criminal activities, I wouldn't have to beat that horse.
Exactly.
That horse would move automatically. But now, because I want change, because I want new laws, because I want new rights, y'all move slower than snails.
Yeah. And we've known that over time for them to do that when it comes to rights, for sure. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. I know that's one challenge that you deal with. What are some other challenges that you've dealt with being autistic and being there for people that have autism as well?
Well, it's not easy, okay? I done dealt with cyberbullying for 4 years. People have slandered my name, have showed mug shots, have called TV stations, news stations, YouTube platforms, magazines. They have done this for years, but at the end of the day, I'm still out here. I had death threats over a puzzle piece. People sent me dead monkeys with nooses on them.
What?
Like over a puzzle piece. So I mean, like in the course of 7 years, this stuff done got real. But I wanted to stop more than multiple times. But when you got a good team around you, you got family, you know what I mean? So they help you realize it's never was about you to begin with.
Right, exactly.
So I mean, with me having autism, of course, bullying, family displacement, being disowned, family segregation. My first discrimination came from my birth mother. It didn't come from nobody else. It came from my birth mother. She went to family court and said, if you take Marcus out the home, then Tommy don't beat the other kids. He just beat Marcus. She said that he's too retarded for us to keep him. and deal with him. So when it comes from your birth mother,
Yeah,
it hits different.
it does, man. And that's another thing, for you to be able to rise above all that, that says a lot about your character, man, and who you are. Definitely.
We can't dwell in the past, only tell these past stories. So if somebody else may be dealing with this currently, that
Hmm.
they can see that with God you can overcome.
No
You
doubt.
don't have to stay in your wallow or your always me place. Because we all come from an always me place.
Yeah, that's true. And that's another thing, no matter what someone is going through, like just for example, I may not have dealt with autism growing up, but I've dealt with similar situations where I've been, discredited. I've been looked down upon, so I can definitely relate, and I can say I'm not a person that you would say is an ally. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm with everything you doing. I got your back and support everything that you do. So if you ever need any help with anything, reach out to me, man. I definitely do whatever I can for you because it's a
Well,
it's a
I,
great
I'm
thing that you're
grateful.
doing.
I'm grateful. I'm honored. And I got your back too. And I'm going to hold you to that. When it comes to the movie premiere, I'm going to hold you to that.
Hey, yeah, and another thing, man, I do a lot with film. Like I've directed, I've shot movies. I'm a drone operator. I write too, so I may be able to help artistically, as well. But we can talk about that, on another time. But just throwing it out there.
Well, listen, I caught it. I caught it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, with me having my own film company, Autism Art Films. So, it's more than great opportunities. And we need drone operators because most movies and TV series are drone operated when they first come on. So, I
Yeah,
mean, we need people like you.
yeah, no doubt, man, for sure. But another thing I wanted to ask, man, so where does the motivation come from to just keep going, to keep doing what you're doing, all the different things?
My team, my family, my queen, and any person with autism. There's millions of people who don't have a voice. There's millions of people whose stories would never get heard, would never get told. There's millions of people that suffering through the same stuff, the same routine every single day. There's millions of people who don't got nobody to listen to them or fight for them.
It
So at the end
is.
of the day, I may only be one person, but change can start with just one person.
Yeah, for sure. It can. And one thing that always stuck with me was there was a saying that if you want to seek change in the world, it starts with you. It starts with the person in the mirror. So if everybody changed something that they felt that wasn't good about themselves or that they could, give to society by changing themselves, the world would be a better place. So it really does start with that one person because you never know who's inspired by what you do. But I'm sure there's
You,
plenty inspired by what you do.
I didn't even look at it like that. Like, okay, this is how many people I'm inspiring. Like, I'm taking notes. The only thing I know is that I want to change the narrative of how people see and treat autism.
Yes.
We every individual with autism is different. Some of us may have the same situation. Some of us may be on a different level or a different functioning skill than others, but we all come from the same tree. We all come from the same family. And with my situation, it was unique because I experienced being nonverbal for years. I experienced, which I still experience in my 40s, the sensory issues, the emotional behaviors, the, you know, um, with wanting to be alone, not wanting to be around a whole bunch of people and stuff of that nature. I still deal with these things in my early 40s, as I have dealt with these things basically my whole life.
The good thing about it, and what I see, just watching how you move, you don't let nothing stop you. I can tell that you keep pushing, and you always, motivating. So that's something that I definitely see about you and how you move.
We always got to keep motivating and keep pushing. Positivity doesn't stop because a negative happens. If X equals Y, then what do X and Y equal?
Yeah,
You understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that means that X could be a positive, Y could be a negative. So if you put a negative and a positive together, what do that create? They create motivation.
Motivation for sure. Let's talk about this clothing brand, man. What's the name of your clothing brand?
It's called Autism Royalty Clothing and Lifestyle. The reason why I called it that is because autism is a lifestyle. It's more than just on April, it's Autism Awareness Month. It's a 365, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day type of situation. So I want people to understand that you can rep what you are and who you are and feel good about who you are. At the end of the day, you royalty. You're a king, you're a queen, you're a prince, you're a princess. You hold your head up because autism is your legacy.
No doubt. That's some real stuff right there, man. And I see that you got some stuff coming down the pipeline. There's an Autism Creators Publishing that's going to be doing 2 books. Do we have a name for these books?
Yeah, actually, one book is called All About You, where it's going to be bringing awareness to autism and ADHD. And the other book is called Autism Royalty, A Kingdom Story. And that's about a mother and father who has 2 children. Both parents have autism. Both children have autism. How do they navigate as parents while dealing with their own autism symptoms? How can they be there for their children? What happens when their faith is tested? Do they lean on God or do they lean on the world? And then how do they navigate this as a family in 2024?
Man, that's let me know when that book come out, man. I want to read that book.
So, I was blessed to have, the amazing talent and gifted from Jennifer Rohali. She's an amazing, gifted, talented book author. So I am just blessed to be working with her. And it's just more stuff on the way. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is this. Like I got a music company. It's called Autism Music Group because everything is autism with me. So if I'm going to do music, books, film, I don't care what it is. It's going to be autism somewhere in the front end or the middle of it.
Yeah.
So
representing. Yeah.
So the thing is, we have to continue to show our gifts, our uniqueness, our creativity. We cannot let a diagnosis put a stop on what we can or could be.
It's real, man. That's real spit right there. So these books, will they be on Audible?
Well, right now we are getting them. They're coming out in 2025. So when they come out in 2025, they will be on, different platforms, Amazon and Barnes and Noble and your Googles and we want special needs teachers to be able to use this book as encouragement, upliftment, and give it light. Because Autism Royalty, A Kingdom Story, you will be able to laugh, be engaged, and learn from this family. And so it will be Autism Royalty will be the new version of Bearstein Bears. Okay, because back in the day, Bearstein Bears had different topics per book. Per book, they had different topics that they focused on. Autism Royalty would do the same thing in the 2024 version.
Oh, okay. That's dope, man. That's super dope. And, segue into I heard you say you have a label and I hear there's a gospel rap album down the pipeline. When can we expect that?
Well, Sunday School Freestyles Volume 1, that's the mixtape. Actually, I'm about to drop a new single. It's going to be called Volumes. I'm going to drop a new single soon. I just dropped a new single a few weeks ago under my DJ Marcus Boyd name. It's called Smile. So that's on all platforms and stuff like that. And the album is called Spaceballs, just like the movie in 1984. You know what I'm saying? So, so the album is coming next year for sure. And, I do conscious gospel rap. So which means I use live instrumentation, boom bap, just real hip hop type of sounds and praise God and give lyrical testimonies and stories at the same time while using. I don't do trap music when I rap. there's nothing wrong with it. I just like real hip hop because I grew up in Brooklyn.
Right, the boom bap type, the roots. Yeah. Yeah, I grew up, I'm from the South, but I grew up on Wu-Tang Clan, man. That was the first group. It was like a cross for me. It was a cross between Wu-Tang Clan and Outkast,
So
UGK
can
and
I can I
8
can I ask you a question? You grew up on Outkast and Wu Tang Clan. The
Yes.
song Can It Be All So Simple then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was one of Wu Tang's Clan songs, and then Outkast had the song with CeeLo, Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So the thing is, for me, that can it be all so simple then? I would just let that play without rapping, without no words playing,
Yeah.
because that instrumental is so crazy.
It is.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, which one do you like better?
Ooh, whew. Oh my God, that's a good question. So can it be it was also simple or get up, get out? Oh my God. Oh, because get up, get out was special to me because it was my coming of age moment in life. I was a teenager and it spoke to me. But man, that
It
Wu-Tang
spoke to me
Clan
too.
touched my heart too. Oh man. If I had to say one over the other, man, that's you got me on the spot with that one. I have to go and get up, get out, only because it resonated more with me because I was from the South. But man, I sure was digging Wu Tang Clan, everything about them, man. That the way that they would joust with their lyrical styles, man, they were amazing,
Now I like
amazing.
Get Up, Get Out because I was growing up in such places like the old Techwood, old
Uh huh.
Kirkwood,
Yeah.
Capitol Homes, before they gentrified it, Pittsburgh, Scottsdale, stuff of that nature. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? But when I went to New York when I was like 10, 11, or whatever, and I'm seeing baggy clothes and I'm seeing, high tech boots and I'm seeing Timberlands and I'm seeing these guys out there doing their thing and they blasting Can It All Be So Simple then. It's just the melody and the harmony that was just within that beat. It just spoke 90s street life. You didn't have to
Right.
say nothing. You just saw the guys doing their survival. But that melody and that beat, it just spoke to you without saying any words.
It really did, man. For sure it did. And so I hear that there's a movie on your life story. And when do we
Yeah, right
expect to see
now,
that?
right now, I'm working with Beast Mode Entertainment. They're a film company out of Atlanta, Georgia. So shout out to Nas, Pinky, Andrew, McAllister, the
Shout
whole
out.
Beast Mode Entertainment family out there. So we're doing a 2-hour film about my life growing up with autism, foster care, group homes, mental institutions, and stuff of that nature. We talking about when I was in Georgia Regional, Savannah Regional, GMHI on Briarcliff before they changed Briarcliff Road in Atlanta. Again, old Atlanta. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so when they had charter, they don't even have charter in Atlanta no more. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, when I went to Southwest DeKalb High School, Stevenson Middle School, when I went to McNair, when I went, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So back when we was forming SWAT team, when we hate Pastor Troy on Digger the Digit with Chris Lover and Poon Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like I'm old Atlanta. When Camouflage was opening up for Def Jam South, talking about he wanted to be have a cut friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Old Atlanta.
Old.
For sure. So tell me this, man. What are some misconceptions about people that have autism that you want to clear up?
Number one is the diagnosis. We are not handicapped. There's different levels of autism, and there's different situations where, yes, a person may not be able to do a lot of things for themselves. Yes, a person may need some help along the way. Yes, a person may need some assistance, but that's not every autism or autistic individual. So
Yeah.
each case, each person is different. Number two, all of us are creative or talented. All of us have gifts And if you have to stop looking at what we labeled as and start looking at what the gift that we have that's in front of you, that we're showing you. True. Allow us real opportunities. Allow us real chances to get real jobs. Stop crippling us and teach us how to survive, how to be great, how to be entrepreneurs, how to be leaders. Yes, we may need a little bit more time. Yes, we may get things and comprehend things on our own. On our own time and our own way. But at the end of the day, that don't mean that that don't mean we less than. That don't mean that we're not great. That don't mean that we can't serve a purpose in this life.
That's facts, man. So closing question, man. What advice would you give somebody that wants to do what you do, to advocate for people with autism?
If you're going to become an activist, first off, you're not getting no money. Okay? You're not getting a dime. You know what I'm saying? So if that's your purpose, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, a lawyer, doctor, construction worker, you know what I'm saying? Those type of things that get you money quicker. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a passion for this, if this is not about your life, if you're not ready to sacrifice, if you're not ready to lose, if you're not ready to be publicly scandalized, if you're not ready to have your brand talked about everywhere, then this ain't for you, my love. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, your skin got to be tougher than needles going in it. Because at the end of the day, they're going to come for you. And you got to be prepared when they come. You understand what I'm saying? And everybody ain't going to like your movement. Everybody going to like your mission. But you keep your head up amongst that dirty water. You keep your head up. Keep that life jacket on. Because soon you will swim out of it, but you got to be able to swim through it.
That's real. He dropping nothing but knowledge. So I hope y'all taking heed to that for sure. Well, man, I want to appreciate you for stopping through the Spotlight Series podcast. It's been an inspirational interview. I've definitely enjoyed our conversation because that's what it is. It's when I reached out to you, I said interview, but in the end, it's really just a conversation, right?
That's it. It's just two legends having a conversation. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. So, I'm very grateful. I'm honored to be a part of this legendary platform.
For sure, man. I want to shine light and love on everything you do. And I want to leave you with this, man. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you, fam.
Amen. Yep. Amen.
Thanks for watching Spotlight Series Podcast. I'm your host, Slick Sean. You can follow on Facebook, Spotlight Series Podcast, on IG, spotlight.series1. You can stream the podcast at spotlightseries.net, watch on Roku TV, Facebook Watch, IGTV, and stream on all podcast listening platforms. In a world full of darkness, the spotlight is on you.